tell you a story about when I was a kid. This story might include a squid, 'cause things were different when I was a kid. Sharks came to Fizz, the outstanding bit. When I was a kid, the things you were big were the things that I did when I was a kid.
I remember the first field trip I ever took. It was in the first grade, and our teacher took us to this farm in upstate New York. The whole thing was one big debacle that started as soon as we got on the bus. I was the last to get on, and I looked at the bus driver, and I was like, "Hey, I'll drive." And the bus driver was like, "Ha ha ha, good one, kid." And I'm like, "Here's a good one." And I put his face through the fucking dashboard. Then the teacher was all like freaking out because I did that, and I spun around and I politely explained to her that if she didn't shut the fuck up and play ball, she'd find her face smashed into the fucking camshaft. So we got along pretty good after that, and I got the keys and I fired the bus up. And I was like, "Put your diapers on, kids, because you're about to get the shit scared out of you when you see how I drive." Now, the streets in New York City are pretty unmanageable, especially in a school bus, which is why it's best to just lay on the horn, floor it, and drive on the wrong side of the road. Needless to say, we only got about a block before some dude smashed into us, and I'm like, this is just fucking great. And I jump out of the bus and I approach the guy, and he's like, "We need to exchange insurance information." And I'm like, "I hope you have life insurance, Grandpa." And I put his face through the fucking radiator of the bus. Then I got back on the bus and I just drove off. Someone else can clean all that shit up. That's what cops are for. So I get the bus another block out, driving on the wrong side of the road and laying on the horn, and then someone else smashes into me. And I throw it into park, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. So I get out of the bus again. By now I have, like, no fucking patience. This lady's like, "What do you think you're doing? I was just..." And I'm like, "Shut up, just shut up." And then I put her face through the fucking radiator. Well, by now I'm like, fuck the streets, man. So I fire up the bus and I crank the wheel. I drive the fucking bus down into the subway and I stop at the token station. Now this guy in the token station, he's used to selling tokens to people one at a time, but I'm in a hurry. I need tokens for me, 33 shitbag students, and my fuckface of a teacher. And the dude's like, "You can't drive a bus down here." And I'm like, "You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, everyone's out to get me today." So I put his face through the fucking token machine, and I say, "Hey, keep the change," and I just drove off. Well, by now, most of the kids had shit their pants, but not the teacher. And I looked at her and I was like, "Get ready to shit your britches, ma'am." And then I drove the bus straight into a subway and wrecked it right into its side. And then I'm in there, I'm staring at all the other people inside the subway, and I look at them, I'm like, "Does this subway take us to Main Street?" And everyone just starts laughing and laughing, because, like, the subway that did go to Main Street left like 2 hours ago, so it's a total subway joke. Anyway, the subway took us to Harlem, and then it dropped us off. And I'm like, "Everybody off the fucking bus." And I backed the bus onto the subway terminal. Then I went up to the train conductor, and I was like, "Hey, thanks for the lift, Mac." And then I put his face through the nose of the subway. After that, we got to a farm or something, and my friends, that was a whole different set of problems.